Let's start again. My name is Isaac Rose, and I want to write a book. Some of you may already know me, some of you might not, but for the longest time, I've wanted to write a book. And in fact, not just a book, but an entire series of books. Some of you may have heard me mention this already on other social media platforms. I even have already posted videos on this channel, but I recently took them all down because I wanted to start again. Across those videos, I feel like I was trying to be something that I'm not. I was trying to be overly mysterious about the story. I was trying to be cool and interesting. I was being somewhat untrue to my just natural self. And I feel like it came across in the videos that I was trying so hard to be a certain type of way. The other thing that's happened is I've spent almost the last 8 months barely writing anything. I came across the idea for the book that I wanted to write around a year ago. I was just getting into reading and I thought of the first line of the story, and that kind of sold me on this whole concept. I jumped straight into writing. I've already wrote over 100 pages of it, but I realized that I jumped in way too quickly. The story that I want to tell consists of multiple characters, different places around the fantasy world that I want to create. It involves a world that has rich history and has so much going on that I needed to take a step back and take a bit of time to truly understand the concept. Not only that, but I'm not a writer. I've never been to a writing class or school. I've never really looked into how to properly write things. So this is all very new to me, and I rushed into it. I wanted to spend a little bit of time practicing writing and also practicing how this world was going to flow. So I took a step back from the main storyline and wanted to focus on creating some short stories from the world. I created 2 short stories, one about a rebel in the city, another one that explored one of the power systems that's going to exist in this world. Both of those short stories I really did enjoy, and you can read them. I put them up on Wattpad. I'll have a link in the description to where you can go check those out. But I feel like I've fatigued myself on writing these short stories, and I've just spent the last 6 to 8 months not writing anything because I just lost the passion for these short stories. But it's constantly stuck with me, this main storyline, and I feel like I hadn't truly figured it out yet. And I was sort of toying with myself as to what I wanted to do with the story. I had the base concept down in my brain, but I didn't know how I wanted to get it from A to B, how I wanted to end it, how I wanted the characters to flow, and how I wanted this world to exist. And so I've taken a lot of time away from this, and I've dabbled in it. And I've finally got a concept that I'm genuinely so excited about and really happy with. There's still a lot that I need to do and I want to build and work on, but for the main sort of general concept, I think I've finally got it down. I think I'm finally ready to start looking at the main storyline again. I don't know if I should be saying this because it might change, you don't know what's going to happen along the road, what plot points might change, what might happen to the characters, but I'm going to say it anyway. I want this to be a 6-book series. I've got the timeline written down, I've got the sort of main things I want to hit, and I think 6 books is what it's going to take to tell this story. I've already thought of the name for the series, and it's going to be called The Age of Essence, and we're going to have book 1 to 6. Obviously, I won't say the titles of those because I've not really got the titles of those yet anyway. I'm not going to promise anything about writing them. As I say, time is very limited for me when it comes to spare time, so being able to find time to write this, it's still going to take a long time. It might even take years and years, but I wanted to do this video as sort of an update because I think a few of you even asked what's happening with the book that I've been writing, because I spoke about it early on when I got really excited and got straight into the story, and I've not really spoken about it since. So I thought I would give you a little bit of a teaser and say that I finally know what I want to do. It's going to take a long time. It's going to be a huge project, but I genuinely think this is what I want to do with my life. I want to write stories. I want to be an author, to share this story. I absolutely love and adore stories and fiction and the power and emotion that it brings out in you when you're reading it. And I want to be able to encapsulate that some way in my own work and be able to bring that emotion out of someone. And so I'm going to try. But what I did want to do is go through a list of work that I'm going to take heavy inspiration from, and just some of my favourite pieces of fictional work that they are going to bleed into the story. I absolutely love and adore all of this here, and I'd be lying if I didn't say I was either taking inspiration or if I can even achieve a fraction of what these books achieve, then I'll succeed. The story that I'm writing is a fantasy story, so while Dune and Red Rising don't necessarily fit into that category, their style of writing and their way of just creating characters and worlds is something that I'm absolutely going to be taking with me. The original Dune story is phenomenal, and Red Rising is something that I've been reading recently, and the characters that it has involved, the world, the style of writing that Piers Brown brings into just this whole world, it's phenomenal, and so that is going to be another inspiration of mine. My favourite fantasy book, The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. If this isn't a masterclass of how to world build, how to bring in characters, bring in different characters across the world to create this one big story that's got a rich history in the world, that has this huge plot that doesn't quite let you in on it until at least like the third or fourth book in the Stormlight Archive, then it's definitely this. As I say, probably my favourite fantasy book. Brandon Sanderson has such a way of building these worlds that how could I not take some inspiration from this? If you're writing a fantasy, you can't really avoid Lord of the Rings. It's the original. It's the king. It's what every fantasy writer probably aspires to hit. The Lord of the Rings trilogy is this just phenomenal, beautiful. Like I say, I would argue the king of fantasy. If you're gonna reach for anything, it's gonna be this. A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. I fell in love with the TV show, and then I've not actually read the books yet because I'm still hoping that the series is finished before I start reading it. But that's a hope that's slowly dwindling. But regardless, the characters and scope that this story tells is insane. The amount of characters, the amount of places in the world, the history, the years and years that feel like exist in this world, it's phenomenal. So say what you will about the TV show, but you cannot disrespect A Game of Thrones. Berserk is just one of those pieces of fiction that you don't even realise the influence it has until you read it and realise how much this has bled into so many different video games and books and films. It's crazy. The story that it tells, the characters that it tells, the power systems, the sort of magic that you don't necessarily get in more Americanized writing, it's phenomenal. Berserk is such a good story, and I just hope that my story can achieve even a slither of what that does. And lastly, Vinland Saga. In my opinion, one of the best character arcs that you can possibly read. Someone who is searching for revenge and doesn't really ever find it or achieve it, and the whole story that and journey that Thorfinn goes on. It's incredible. The characters are phenomenal. The action scenes are brilliant. I absolutely love Vinland Saga, and again, if I can achieve even a quarter of what Vinland Saga does, then I'll be happy. So there you go. They are some of the inspirations that I'm going to be taking when writing my book. As I say, I've got no real date. I've got no real start or finish that I'm going to try and do with this book. I'm not rushing it. This is a passion project at the end of the day, and I just hope that one day I can create something that even, as I say, can achieve even a fraction of what some of these books here achieved. Like, these are, in my opinion, these are some of the greats of fictional writing and story and characters and world building. It's just phenomenal, and I really just hope that I just want to write. I just want to do this. I feel like I've spent so long thinking about it that I just want to do it now. So there you go. There's a bit of an update and a bit of a fresh start. If you want to join me on this journey, make sure that you subscribe and turn notifications on so that you know when I upload to this channel. I don't know how frequent they're going to be. I don't know what the videos will be about. When I do post them, maybe an update on where I'm at, or even a glimpse into the world that I want to write about. But there you go. If anybody was wondering, which I'm sure not many of you were, but regardless, there is an update on the book I want to write. And this is also kind of a message for myself to look back on. Did we write the book? Did we make it? Like, did anybody read it? Did you just finish it? That's what I would want to know. I hope so.